Hey, all, welcome back. Welcome to episode 11. Tonight, I'm going to be covering something for you that's not being touched on too much today. Apparently, the big thing today is about Joe Biden and his mishandling of classified documents and the comparisons to him and Donald Trump and Hillary. Realistically, we know nothing's going to happen to any of them. Hillary destroyed evidence. She didn't get arrested. Trump, he actually has the power, or had the power, to declassify documents. Okay? He did. And Joe, they're not going to arrest him or do anything to him for mishandling classified documents either. It's not going to happen. We all know it. So it's just political BS for both sides of the aisle, just to try and one-up on each other. That's all it is. So we're going to leave that to the media to actually mess around with that stuff. But tonight, I just wanted to throw together something real quick and just share this with you. Today, there was a congressional vote. The vote was on, it was called the Born Alive Protection Act. And what that act does, it actually protects fetuses and the unborn from botched abortions. So what happens is if someone goes in to get an abortion and it is botched, the child survives. Okay, it is taken from the womb, and a choice has to be made. Was the baby going to be cared for, or are they going to let the child die, or complete the abortion? One of the two. So today, the vote was held, and I found a clip today on Twitter from Lauren Boebert. She is one of the members of the Freedom Caucus, and to some, a far-right extremist or ultra-far-right or alt-right, whatever you want to call her, or a MAGA Republican. I got news for you. She's not. All she is a constitutionalist. And if that's considered far-right, I guess so am I too. But I want to play this for you, and to me, it's really disturbing. So just bear with me. Let me get everything organized here. I want to set this up so you guys can actually see it and hear it, and it's clear. So 1 second here, and I'll have you guys all set up and ready to go.
The House just voted on the Born Alive Survivors Protection Act. This bill is simple. If any abortion is botched and the baby is born alive, that baby cannot be left for dead, but must receive medical care like any live human being. Sadly, only one Democrat voted for it, while 210 Democrats voted against this bill and want to allow these babies to be left for dead. This is sick. This is radical. This is where the Democrat Party stands today, but it's certainly not where the American people stand.
Pretty disturbing, isn't it? Think about that. 210 of our representatives. These people represent half of our country. And you're going to tell me that that's okay? You support your representatives for supporting, refusing and voting no on this act? That's not extreme? That's something you all need to think about. These people represent us. Is that how you really feel about it? Tell me, are you really for, a child being left out to die, to suffer? If it miraculously survives an abortion, you're just going to kill it anyway? It's just not right. Now, don't get me wrong. I, in my political compass test, I am pro-choice. But you got to have limitations. I mean, if that child survives and gets through that procedure, that's a tough kid. Let him live. I mean, yeah, the parents don't have to take responsibility. They're there for a reason. They're there to abort that baby. They're saying, hey, I do not have the means to raise this child, or I cannot, just basically, I cannot raise this child. Or they're using it for, I hate to say it, they're actually using it for contraception. And to me, that, like I said, that's just not right. And if you support something like that, if you're seriously supporting a representative that's supposed to represent you to vote no, to let these children just die or even complete the abortion process after they're even out of the womb, that's extreme. So now think about this. We're not talking about, your first and second trimesters here. We're talking late term. All right. That means if, after 6 months, if there's a possibility for these children to live, they could live in an incubator. They can continue growing. So, yes, these Democrats voted literally to kill children that are born. That's extreme. Because once that baby is removed from the womb, that baby is, according to, the left, a baby. It's no longer a fetus once it leaves that womb. So y'all got to start thinking about this. Y'all got to really start looking at what's going on out there, who you're supporting. 210 Democrats voted no to help keep a child alive that survives an abortion. That's disgusting. That's something you should be ashamed of. But hey, who am I to try to convince you guys to, have compassion? Or actually, look at who's representing you. Nah, you're just blind. You'll just let it go. Long as there's a D next to it or an R next to it, you'll support it. Doesn't matter. If one side supports one thing, you'll just say no on the other. Just because it's from the other party. Y'all got a lot of learning to do. Yep, you really do. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that our constituents vote for people like that. Right now, Lauren is a freaking hero. Getting out this information, telling people about this. That's a hero. That is the type of people, the type of person we need in Congress. Now just think about this. One extra step. Now that is actually passed because the Republicans hold the majority in Congress. Okay, it's passed. Now it goes to the Senate where the Democrats have control. So you're going to tell me that those Democrats there, just because it passed in Congress, that the Democrats in the Senate are just going to vote it down? You know why? Not because they support it or maybe, think it's the right thing to do. They're going to do it just for the simple fact that it has an R next to, whoever wrote up the bill. That's it. Morally, they know it's wrong, but they're going to do it anyway. Play politics. Playing politics with your children, your unborn children. That's who you vote for. That's what you want to be associated with. Be my guest. It's your freedom. It's your choice. I can't do that. I can't do that one bit. I can't support representatives that will, vote no on something like that. So, but if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Support those people. Not me. I'd rather be a constitutionalist and support someone from the Freedom Caucus and be called an extremist or someone far right or a MAGA Trumper than be associated with the party that'll kill children as contraception. All right, I'm done yelling. And by the way, have a good night. See you next week.